Welcome everybody to season 1, episode 5 of the weekly download with Nick Caliani.
How you guys doing? Nick, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I look forward to this Friday.
Good to see you. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
So, Odie, what's you got AC/DC back there and all the red going on? What
got it,
is
man.
that? Is that your background, or are you like pumped up about you're going to go see them, or something going on, or you just?
Oh, I wish it was the latter of the two. Dang, that would be awesome. No, it's just my background. I'm in Phoenix for the weekend. I have a big ninja competition tomorrow with Bobby, so I'm staying at Bobby's house right now, and yeah, AC/DC is on my mind. So,
well, tell Bobby we said hi. That'd be
yeah, I will.
And
He's
good
on a
luck.
conference call.
And good luck at the competition, brother.
Thanks.
Good luck.
He's in the room next to me because he's a software engineer, so he's doing conference calls with clients and helping them and stuff. But yeah, I'll tell him.
All right, yeah, that's awesome. It's always great to see him in the videos and all that stuff. But what's going on, NR? What's going on with you, buddy?
Same old, man. Same old. In the office today at my old shop, just kind of, making sure things are running well. And yeah, figured I'd take some time out, hang out with you fine gentlemen, and see what's going on in the Vitruvio world today. So yeah, man.
Awesome. We've been quite busy behind the scenes and everything like that. We got a special event coming up Sunday night, so we're all getting ready.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So guys, if you can tune in Sunday, I won't be there, unfortunately, but yeah, we got some big things in the works. Again, I've been promoting my book, so if anybody wants a free copy of the audio, I actually have some free promo codes for Audible. So if anybody wants a free copy of the audio, I can make that happen. Just shoot me a DM or something like that. So, but yeah, on to why we're really here to hear what's going on with Nick and Vitruvio.
Yeah,
we have some good things happening there as well. Yeah,
we got some good participation from the community. They've really jumped in here early.
Yeah, man.
Normally we have to wait a little bit to get people in.
Yeah.
So, it's looking good.
Nick, how have you been? I noticed that you're seems on your Twitter you're very busy running around all over the place in meetings.
I try and stay that way. Actually, for the first time since she left for college, like it's been 2 months, it just went by, and my daughter's home for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
So I'm getting a taste of that family, and also, with Vitruvio, it's nonstop action at this point. Every day counts. We are reaching sort of the milestone now, and so there's just so much stuff, so many moving parts, all coming together at once. And someone was telling me like these downloads are too long and boring. Well, this is just the slides about them. Think about the work for each one, that is happening behind the scenes. If you think that's a lot, today I have 50 slides. That might be a bit.
You were up all night again, weren't you, Nick?
Testing people's patience and see if we need an intermission, a popcorn break. I don't know.
Get some popcorn.
Like that. But yeah, I mean, the activity is definitely heightening, and so as a result, I just have more information to share. And I believe this is what we need as a community: is we want more information rather than less. And it's okay to fast forward, it's okay to skip, etc. But my job is to put it all out there for you, and to make sure that everyone has all the information that they need.
That's
you said, didn't you? I was going to say, Nick, you said that you stay up all night Fridays or Thursdays getting these slides together and putting the information. I don't even know how you do it, but I appreciate it. So
I actually enjoy doing it because it gives a good feeling of accomplishment, and because what you're putting in there is stuff that actually got done, got built, someone, and you can, also when you have a new team, to see the team synergy grow is important. Like at the beginning, everyone's sort of siloed almost, but then you start having these collaborations, etc., and then you start operating like a well-oiled machine. And that's the goal here, is to just make this into the best damn machine possible out there. So
yeah,
I love that.
With all the information that goes on and everything, that Crypto Pride always does, a shorter version, and it goes over highlights. So once it's done and everything, he usually tries to make these, but it's difficult for him with his work schedule and stuff like that. So he goes back and puts it out during the week. So go check out Crypto Pride stuff.
Crypto Pride, missed opportunity. That should have been TLDW. Didn't watch. Too long, didn't watch.
So
that's a good acronym. Good acronym.
One of the important things. Oh, and Kryptonian was not able to be here today.
Yeah.
Normally he's with us, but he had some family stuff to take care of. But I think the important thing, Nick, is before you get started, we need to make sure, do you have plenty of tea?
Yes.
I have a good amount. Yes.
Okay. We just need to make sure, because, then we'll need to jump in there so that you can get some more tea. And I also wanted to let you guys know, in the chat, we put in we had a discussion about it, and we had a link tree created for Vitruvio, so that instead of us putting all the different links in the lives and everything like that, we got the link tree in there. So we'll put that in there, and that will take you through all the things that you might need. Hopefully everything is there. If not, reach out to us and let us know, and we'll add that in. All right. You ready?
It says here Gus is in Mountain View today. I better track him down, and I'm gonna find you, and we'll have Starbucks. We'll go.
That's right. That's right. We've been so busy, Gus. We haven't been live in a while. I guess you made it out there, so that's great.
We need like a chai meter to go in Nick's window there in his panel, so that it's like a full tank, and as it's going down, the chai's going. It's like we getting close, a quarter tank. It's like, okay, guys, we need to take a break. Nick needs to get more chai.
Yeah, I see you too, Teddy One. We'll just keep that to ourselves there, buddy. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's good seeing the same faces. It's good seeing the same faces, showing up every week to keep tabs on what's going on. And everybody knows, it's no secret, Nick, I'm a fan. Especially, I think somebody mentioned in the comments about the professionalism that you've brought to the project, and I think the depth and just what you bring every week goes to show the level of how much you care and how much of yourself you're putting into this thing. And again, I think that speaks volumes, and that's exactly what this thing needs. So we appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's support. I still maintain, if you want to go fast, you go solo, but if you want to go far, you got to go together. And that's what we're doing here.
Awesome. Gus says he's getting his truck serviced at Sunnyvale Ford.
All right, cool. I will track him down.
Okay. All right. You ready to start your presentation?
Yeah.
We're ready
Let's
to
do
go.
this thing.
All right. Let's bring you up and bring us off the stage. Nobody wants to see us.
All right, let's get going. Hello, everyone. This is Nick Kalyani, project lead for Vitruveo Blockchain, and I'm here with the weekly download. This is season 1, episode 5. Today is October 13th, and I have a very information-packed session for you today. So hold on, let's go. All right, so we have a longer agenda than usual today, because we are getting closer to MainNet, and so things are falling into place. And I wanted to make sure that I gave you the full rundown on things. So let's just start as usual with our council updates. We'll start with the Strategy Council operations team. We are working on an alliance with the San Francisco Arts Commission. So that's just getting started. We have a lot of work to do there before we reach some finalization. We've been nominated for a Web3 award in Amsterdam. So the operations team is following up with them. And also following up with other NGOs. We looked at the South American sort of NGOs last week, and we want to take that same concept and look at other continents and onboard them, other countries and continents. And also in terms of logistics, we are now fully committed to Notion, and so everything is sort of getting pushed into Notion. So that's a quick roundup of what the operations team is. But let's get to the Technology Council, where there's a lot of action. So we started off with the auto perks feature, implemented one way. To refresh your memory, the idea here is that there is a vault of tokens for perks, and every time there is a successful rebase based on the transaction goal being met, the vested perks are automatically moved into a pool that's becoming available for everyone to claim. We wanted to make this a built-in feature of the protocol, and we tried it one way, and it was not working quite the way we wanted it to. There was some performance implications and also potentially some potential for bugs. And so we tried a more efficient approach, and that's actually working quite well using block headers. So I'm going to show you a screenshot of that in just a moment. We are now working on the efficiency of what are called pre-compiled smart contracts. So you've heard of smart contracts. Anyone can deploy a smart contract to the blockchain. But there's also this type of smart contract called a pre-compiled one. And that one is actually not written in Solidity, which is the normal language. It's written in Go, and it's built in right into the protocol. So we want our asset base and creator base, the two main pillars of this protocol, to be built in as precompiled smart contracts. So looks like it's working well so far in our tests. One of the reasons we want to do that is because with a precompiled smart contract, we can make an arbitrary gas value. So what we want is for these, there's already going to be fees that creators pay. So in addition, they would have to pay gas. And what we want to do is not have that scenario. We want to make it where they just pay the fee, but there is no gas. And so with a precompiled smart contract, we have the ability to have gasless transactions, which makes them very, very attractive for special use cases. And that's what we're going to do. There's a tremendous amount of attention being paid to the booster Dapp and smart contract, because that is absolutely our core focus for the MainNet RC1. That's the main app that goes on there. And we just added some new requirements to the scope at the nth hour here, but you are going to like those new requirements. So I will talk about them later in the presentation today. We've been working with the Usign team in Brazil on the VTRU Studio MVP requirements, and I'm going to show you what we've arrived at momentarily. The faucet is currently active at faucet.vitruvio.xyz. Just bear in mind that currently the testnet is still running the super rapid rebasing version. And so there's going to be like a lot of tokens there, and you will see rebasing at a crazy pace on your tokens. So just be aware of that if you intend to use it. Also, in the next 2 to 3 days, it's going to be reset. So don't be concerned if your balance goes to zero. On the testnet, just keep in mind that it's highly unpredictable when we do a deploy and when your balance goes to zero. So these are controlled things we are doing, and we'll continue to do that. All right, let's look at some screenshots on these things. So what I'm showing you here is an output for a block. So I know it's a lot of gobbledygook to most people, but I've highlighted the parts that matter. What we've done is modify the standard block that comes out of the box with Ethereum, and we've added all the capabilities, fields that are necessary for rebasing and perks. And you can see here that there's things like epochs, perks, RBX. RBX is basically our internal sort of abbreviation we use for rebase. That the reason for that is because if there's any scenario in which the core code, some point has the word rebase appear anywhere, we won't have a hard time finding our code changes. The RBX is a unique sort of abbreviation to it. But you see there in the middle yellow box, there's a perks field. So we've added perks to the header also. And this is an efficient approach that works really well for us. So we can know that based upon the rebase being achieved, that there are perks due, and those are then carried forward. We also uniquely have a supply per block because we are rebasing, and we wanted a mechanism by which anyone, an exchange, a developer, anyone can figure out what the current supply is. And on the right there, I put a little call out box of the code to show you how sort of if you're a developer, you can see that we have a bunch of constants there, and we're working through perks code, but it is working now. So we are glad about that. All right, next slide here. I want to talk about our 3 pillars of in terms of applications. So we've got the VTRU Studio, VTRU Hub, and VTRU Stream. Now, it's been a few weeks since I first introduced these to you. So I thought it would be a good idea today to give everyone a bit of a refresher on what these are. So let's start with VTRU Studio. So the idea is that VTRU Studio is our flagship application. And this is where anyone who comes in uses this application to, first of all, register themselves as a creator and does the KYC, etc. But then once they are done with that, they then consign their artwork, whether it's visual art, music, film, etc., and they create the licensing terms. So it's a two-step dance, 3-step if you add the creator registration part. But the idea here is that in the current world of NFTs, everyone is sort of obsessed with this term mint, where you have to make this decision up front on actually putting your artwork into a marketplace. And once you put it into a marketplace, it might show up in other marketplaces, but for all practical purposes, it belongs to the contract of the marketplace where you minted it. And we think that's a ridiculous concept. And so now we've changed it so it models the real world. You just consign your artwork to the protocol, and the protocol makes that artwork available to any and all applications that anyone builds on the platform. So as an artist, you don't have to decide. You are free to choose how many marketplaces your artwork shows up in. You're free to have different licensing models for different scenarios, etc. So a huge amount of flexibility. So that's what VTRU Studio does. VTRU Hub you can think of as a combination search engine for all the artworks that are consigned there. And also our vision is that this will become the Shopify for creators. So if you are an expert at curating artworks of a certain kind, maybe you have domain expertise in landscapes. So you could essentially spin through VTRU Hub, spin up a store. And in that store, you could have all the landscapes that are available in our asset registry. You could organize them in different ways. You could mark them up, etc. And you could create a store that surfaces those artworks to different audiences, your audience, and also gives you the ability to earn some money. So this model has worked to the tune of billions of dollars for Shopify. And we think that it's going to be a huge opportunity because it addresses the single most biggest problem that faces the space is, creators are creating artworks, but how do you get buyers to them? And what you do is you don't try and do it with 1 or 2 marketplaces. You do it with 1,000, 100,000 marketplaces where different people create siloed marketplaces for their area of interest. And VTRU Hub will allow you to do it. So it's going to be the Shopify for creators. And we think that when you have sort of a crowd approach to doing this, you can scale up to very large sizes. And the last but not the least is VTRU Stream, which is, you take Shopify for creators. We also are playing on the word there and doing the Spotify for creators. So VTRU Stream is the ability to stream artworks. So anyone can build an application for any platform that they want. I use Apple TV as an example, where you can stream visual artworks. And guess what? Right behind here, this is my Apple TV, and I am streaming artworks for Vitruvio. So these are the booster artworks, and I'll show you a close-up of them, but I'm streaming them. And so this is exactly the type of things you'll be able to do. I decided to use sort of this cascading effect, etc. But you can use whatever effect you want. You can show an artwork. You can show tiles of artworks. You can show all kinds of effects like that. So displays that are in your office, in your hotel lobby, in your home, etc., can now be alive with fresh artworks from artists all over the world, and you can theme them. So because we have this rich metadata, you can create feeds, playlists of artworks and this capability has not existed ever before. And we will be able to unlock it because, going back to VTRU Studio, every asset on our protocol is going to be registered in one place. And so what we can do is allow developers to go crazy and build amazing apps that will stream these artworks. So I'm super excited. VTRU Stream is something that's been a dream of mine, because I have a lot of screens all over my home, and I want to put curated specific types of artworks in specific locations. And so this is an application I'm looking forward to. All right, now what we have here, I think, let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Maybe not. This is good enough. So what you're seeing here is a mind map. So we've been working with the Usign team in order to distill down the VTRU Studio requirements to what's called an MVP. MVP in software stands for minimum viable product. And the idea is, what are the minimum set of features you need in order to be able to have a system that has the functionality you desire, but perhaps not all the frills, not all the features, etc. And so this is the mind map for VTRU Studio. It basically has two parts, and they correspond to creator base and asset base. So on the left here, this is where the creator comes in and essentially goes through a KYC process. And you can see here that there's an external API, the Synapse API we are going to use in order to do the KYC in real time. So it happens in real time. And when the creator is done, their entry goes into the creator base. On the right-hand side here, this is the asset registration section, and is divided into three main components. On the left is the actual media. So we want high resolution media to be uploaded. We want the creator to be able to sign that media, cryptographically sign it, so that it's not possible for someone else to claim that they created it, because they would not be able to prove that signature. This is going to be stored on IPFS, Interplanetary File System, nodes that we will eventually have our validators run, and therefore ensure a very highly durable system for these artworks. In the middle here, we're talking about the biggest differentiator that we will have among all the similar platforms out there, which is domain-specific metadata. So metadata is the lifeblood of museums, etc. If you don't have metadata, you cannot really identify artworks, where they belong, what their provenance is, who created it, where it was created, what media it uses, and so on. And so this is information that is going to be on chain for us. And last but not the least, we have a flexible licensing model here on the right, so an artist can create any number and types of licenses, and we're going to make those licenses have a bit of smartness in there. So for example, you could create a license for a 1-of-1 edition, and you could create a license for a 1-of-100 edition, and you could have both of them out there, but one wins. In other words, if someone buys from the 1-of-100, it means the 1-of-1 is no longer valid, and so it goes away. Conversely, if someone buys a 1-of-1, it's no longer possible to buy a 1-of-100, and so that one goes away. So we want to build these intelligent features into licensing also. And next week, I will demonstrate to you an amazing app that we have kind of prototyped right now, which allows for custom licensing, especially in the world of music, because there's a lot of custom licensing that goes on for every deal that's made. So we're going to show you how that works. So I'll keep that a secret until next week. All right. So next up, I want to talk about the Marketing Council's update. So this week, if you've noticed on social media, Instagram, Twitter, we've been highlighting the VTRU Booster artists. So it's the artwork you're seeing behind me. We're just getting a lot of people excited about it. And as a result, we already have inbounds from artists saying, hey, how can I participate in this? Obviously, the Booster art campaign is a closed one, but we definitely want that inbound interest because there will be other opportunities. So we are also doing an artist spotlight session we want to start soon. So we are inviting artists to come and tell us their stories. One of the things that's really important for us to do as a protocol is not be a boring protocol that's talking about this transaction speed and how many nodes are there, etc. It's been done, and there's no differentiating that. What we want to essentially position Vitruvio as the human-centric protocol. So we are going to be focusing more on humans and the things that make this protocol interesting and useful for human beings. We don't want to be a technology play because it's a losing proposition. We don't want to do that. We want to be in the winning spotlight, and that is the humans. And that's why we want to have human interest stories, etc. The content and production of the booster website is in progress. I believe it's mostly done, probably like 95%. There's some FAQs and things that are being added right now, but other than that, it's mostly done. And now what we want to do is start doing PR outreach in order to get the Vitruvio story out to the world of art. This has always been a requirement for us. We didn't want to do it prematurely, but we've built the brand. We've got some good social media content now. And so I think it's time for us to start reaching out to the art world and getting early interest. And last but not the least, you're going to hear a lot about this in this session, is we had our first exhibition that began yesterday in Sao Paulo at a venue called Casa Nua. And so we've started to basically present Vitruvio to the world. And you'll see more of this in just a moment. All right. Let's talk a little bit about a marketing initiative that is important. And it's near and dear to my heart, but I think at its core, it's an important thing for our protocol. We've essentially come to terms with the fact that the best way for us to really differentiate ourselves to the world of the broader world, and also specifically to the world of creators, is to focus on this element of trust. One of the things that you cannot have in many other protocols is because they're horizontal and they don't do anything specific for creators. There's a lot of scammers, there's a lot of fake art, there's a lot of money lost due to that. We want to flip that equation. So if you look at these circles here, we put together essentially the 5 core elements that define our protocol, that combine together to create a rock solid foundation of trust. So some of these I alluded to earlier, but let's review them real quick. So we have flexible licensing. What that means is that our creators can trust that they are not beholden to any one license. They can have the freedom of having licensing that meets their requirements. Dynamic minting. Again, most other protocols, you have to essentially mint in order to be able to sell. We don't want that. We've completely flipped the equation, and we are said that creators, all you do is you consign your artwork to the protocol. Minting happens when there's a sale. So you never have to struggle with this decision of burning your artwork. It's a real decision that many artists struggle with, where they have gone ahead and minted it, but then their work didn't sell for 6 months, a year, and now they have this artwork on the blockchain, but it essentially just belongs to them, and they don't necessarily want it there. So then they decide to burn it, which means get rid of it. And you don't have to do that. In fact, for a lot of artists, that's an emotional decision, and we don't want to have to put them through that. The next thing is industry metadata. As I highlighted earlier, this is really, really important for us for discoverability, because when you have all these fields that are standard and uniform, people and systems can easily discover artwork. So that's really important. Creator trust. So when we do the KYC, we make sure that all the creators out on our platform can be trusted. There are no scammers. There are no people who can get away with any kind of criminal behavior, because we've done KYC for them. And finally, the artworks itself, by digitally signing them, we have non-repudiation, and also the ability to verify that the creator is in fact the person who created it. So if you put all of these together, tradability, reusability, uniformity, security, and transparency, what you get is trust. And so that is the protocol we are creating. We're creating a circle of trust in the Web3 art ecosystem. And you'll see our marketing message build upon this over time. And every time I do a public talk on Vitruvio, you can bet I will be emphasizing trust quite a bit. All right, moving along to the Creator Council. We have the artwork for boosters ready. You can see it behind me here. It's really, really exciting. We have 21 amazing artists that stepped up and in a very short amount of time created some amazing artworks, and also created augmented reality content. So I'm not going to reveal that the augmented reality content yet. We want to wait for the boosters to actually be able to see that, but you can see the artworks now. And as I mentioned, Fer is actually in Sao Paulo as we speak. So she is presenting. She presented yesterday and now is networking with people and giving them a good sense of what Vitruvio is about. So her primary presentation was around art packs. The art packs artists are represented there in full force. And because art packs is going to be one of the premier dApps on Vitruvio, we thought that a crossover kind of would be good. So Fer's done a great job of doing some live streaming, etc., around that. So here are the 21 artworks there, and a shout out to Fowler, whose artwork is there. That's great. I'll let you guys guess which one is his. But the very first one is my top favorite among all of these. It is super special, and that is done by our very own Fer Caggiano. So I'm super excited about it. And these artworks are beautiful, and I've looked at some of the AR content, and it's pretty amazing. So great work by Fer and her team in getting these artworks done for the boosters. Thank you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Casa Nua. So essentially, this is a gallery that's been created in order to bridge the physical and digital world. So it's a physical gallery where artists can come and hang out and talk, and also there are screens there where all these artworks can be displayed. This is a great way to kind of sample what our vision is. Our vision is to create these sort of sites in major cities around the world where artists can come, can congregate, can learn about blockchain, can learn about Vitruvio, and they can be an ongoing exhibition, etc. So we Apple's done a great job with their stores where they have a similar kind of thing where you can come and buy product, you can learn about product, and you can also have questions answered, etc. And I think it's not a bad idea for us to do something similar in order to really get mainstream audiences. So the ability, for example, for a gallery owner to come into a location, see what we have to offer, understand how the blockchain works and what is the value proposition for getting like maybe all their artists on. So, galleries might have a bunch of artists that they represent. And so the ability for them to come and have these conversations is really valuable. And instead of just being sort of this dry, technical, kind of brand, we will become a very rich, vibrant, and as I said, human-centric brand. And the ability to have this in major cities is going to be a plus. We were thinking that we'll initially do Dubai, Miami, and possibly South Korea, but it'll all depend on location, price, things like that. But we'll start small and then build from there. It's an experiment, so we have to figure out what model works really well. All right, next up, we're gonna have a report about the community team of the Ecosystem Council. So they're continuing to do the DAO structure, charter and tooling research. There's a new community champions program coming up. So that's something I'm excited about because we do want to recognize members of the community. We've finished the user onboarding workflow, and I believe the community lead and the community team is working with the validator leads to make sure that they have all the permissions they need for the validator channels and things like that. We look forward to your sharing ideas. Ideas are great. They are always welcome, and they help us think differently about everything about your needs. And especially for the community team, they've done a great job of really sort of responding to my call to make this whole Discord very creator friendly. And so we've had great luck in doing that. And I'm super grateful for all their hard work. All right, so let's go on now to our financial update. So that was it for the council updates. So financial update, pretty much you can expect that when we hit the middle of the week, there's no spending because we do the spending primarily on the 1st and 15th. Now, this is a good point to tell you, I'm always transparent with you. And after the payroll is done in the next few days, we'll be running on fumes at that point, and we are highly, highly reliant on the booster sale occurring prior to the end of the month, which we are 1000% certain is going to happen at this point, in order to be able to meet our financial obligations that will occur on the 1st. So that's it. That's all there is to talk about there. Let's move on to the Dapp vote, which just occurred, and give you an update on that. So the Dapp vote was done. So we went according to plan, and everything was completed. And I'm very, very excited and pleased to report, which is a non-news to everybody, but it's great to report that we have a yes vote. So we had 1,038 votes for yes and 16 votes for no. I will do my darndest. I will work very hard to convince those 16 folks that they should be in the yes column, which I hope someday in the near future they will be. So you can see the vote. There was a problem with the page yesterday. I think it was related to licensing, like essentially going from the free version to the paid version of a service they were using. But that's been addressed now, and you can go to the vote page and see every wallet and what their vote was. But if you are the techie type and you want to verify these signatures, we've put the raw signature files in a JSON file for you, which you can find at that exact same URL. So you are welcome to validate that and see that the signatures are in fact what we are claiming them to be. All right, so that is it. So the purpose of the vote was to move forward with the cap table, with the incorporation and those things. And so this here says that we can go ahead and move forward on those. So we're going to do just that. All right, the next step is BVI incorporation. As I mentioned last time, we operated under the assumption that there would be a yes vote, and we did everything necessary except pull actually execute on it. And that's what we've done. So as of today, we've successfully completed the KYC and AML review for myself as a director on there. So they determined that I'm a worthy person of being able to be a director of this corporation, which is great. Our attorney of record is Loeb Smith. They are based in both Hong Kong and BVI, and they'll be handling all of this incorporation. Like with any corporation, you need to have a local presence, and that for us will be the Army's Corporate Services Limited. This morning, I wired the fees for all of it, and we expect in the next 2 or 3 days the incorporation to be complete. I talk about BVI, British Virgin Islands, but I don't think a lot of people know exactly where they are. I'm sure you can go look at it in Google Maps, but I put in the background a quick map to show you at scale compared to Miami. So top left, we've got West Palm Beach and Miami, and on the bottom right, we have the BVI. And guess what? It's so tiny that you can't even see it. You can only see the text label, so you have to zoom in quite a bit to see that. But that's kind of the relative sort of location of BVI. But just to refresh your memory, here the BVI incorporation is strictly for the booster sale. We just needed to get something done fast, and due to the regulatory changes in Dubai, we couldn't do anything that fast. It's going to take 3 to 6 months. And so the Dubai incorporation track continues as planned, and at some point we will wind down the BVI corporation, but not anytime soon. But right now, we wanted to be sure that once we start this booster sale, we are 100% covered under a corporate entity, and that's what this is about. All right, the next, I have an ecosystem update for you. So I have this project board I created, and what we're going to do is keep adding projects as we encounter them. So I had an initial kickoff meeting with the San Francisco Arts Commission yesterday. There's a lot of work to do before we can actually be officially working with them. But the meetings started, so got those on the board. But we've got a lot of gray spots here that we need to fill in. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we have good leadership at the ecosystem level. And if you recollect so far, we've got leads for each of the councils, there's a strategy council, that's me. We've got the technology council, that's Prabhu. Marketing, which is Riva. We've got creator council, which is Fur. And the ecosystem council has been without a lead. And what I'd like to do today is introduce you to Zachary Holwerda. Come on here, Zach. Let's see you there. Hi. And this Zach's your new ecosystem
What's up,
lead.
Nick? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
You know, I'm living the dream. I'm talking a little bit in Discord with people right now, and I heard like my cue in, and I was like, oh crap, gotta get back.
As I understand, you're fighting the weather here today.
Yeah, I am. Our natural gas decided to not want to work today, so I am patiently waiting for DTE Energy to come to my house and fix it.
Well, I hope they get there soon. So Zach, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop this screen, and
Yep.
I'd like to get you up here, and let's talk a little bit about. First of all, let's let our community get to know you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, absolutely. I've been in the Web3 space for, I don't know, since 2020. So still relatively new, but during that time, I've worked with like over 50 Web3 founders and companies in various roles as like a facilitator. You know, I've done a little bit of capital raising, I've done marketing, I've done content, I've done a lot of community building. That's probably the biggest thing that I've done. And yeah, I've worked in DApps, I've worked in exchanges, layer twos. I've been a little bit of everywhere, and connections and networking has been like my thing in all of that. And I'm excited to bring that network here. So yeah,
That's awesome. So what do you? What's been the most exciting project you worked on so far? Let me start there first.
The layer 2 that I worked on was really cool. They were doing some pretty cool. They were trying to solve the issue of identity on the blockchain, building on Cosmos. Shout out to the Sonar guys. They have a really cool deep tech, and I hope they get a good product out soon. But then also I worked in digital goods, and that was really fun. I got to work with some people in like the Web 2 space, and worked with some Web 2 brands and learned the process of sourcing goods. And like last week you had the sneaker guys on, and that kind of gave me memories of that. And I got a lot of cool, fun connections, and I got to go to we did a really fun pop-up at NFT NYC at Stadium Goods with like Hype Beast. It was really fun. So it was like a lot of cool experiences. I've always been one to be like a risk taker, I guess you could say. Like, you tell me something, I'll go do it. I don't like, oh, I've never done that before. So it's really kind of helped me like broaden my skills, and I hope more than anything that I'm just going to enhance the already awesome council leads that we have, and then also be a good communicator to our community, as in users and developers. So
that's cool. So what is your vision for the ecosystem council? How do you see it taking root and growing, and executing on its primary function?
Yeah, so I'm green. I've been here for 10 hours, everyone watching. So I did do some notes this morning about like what my first priorities are going to be while I'm here. And first thing I'm going to be doing is comms, right? So how can community members, users, et cetera, how best are they going to be able to communicate with us as the leads and the council people, and then vice versa? Like, how do we give the best information? Because we're doing a 2-hour live stream right now. How do we digest that in a small bite-sized pieces where everyone can stay informed? And so once we solve the issue of communication, and that is a good, effective way, I really want to start focusing on partnerships and really start focusing on some DApps that like will help with like DAO governance and just like the organizational apps in that way, while we continue to get to the human focus that you were talking about earlier.
Cool. And what kind of partners do you see coming on board here?
So in my back pocket, I do know a few museums here in the Midwest. I'm based in the Midwest. Some interactive museums. So I could definitely be helping out in that that case, I would love to be able to get Phygital goods in here, and like, because Phygital has not. Maybe we'll get an opportunity to rebrand that because I'm not in love with that term. I don't think that it has had a fair shake on the blockchain because it's just been really cumbersome, and how like the buying mechanics, KYC, all of that happens. And one of the reasons why I was so excited to join the team was the system that you guys are building and how it will be light. And in my opinion, the blockchain shouldn't matter. It should be in the background. People should be able to be like, I want to buy this. It should be no different than the Web 2 services. The back end should just do its job. And now we're doing it in Web 3. And there's been a lot of like technical things that hasn't been perfect yet, but at each iteration we're getting closer and closer. And so this is the first time I've seen someone put a human approach to it, and like, I want to be able to do commerce on a blockchain and not just buy a PNG or a JPEG, or say, hey, you eventually will get this and we'll send it to you later. And it's like some weird, we have Excel spreadsheets and then we have to get KYC. It should be all just in one fell swoop, just like it would be like a Shopify, like you said with VTRU Hub. It should be 3 clicks away, like Steve Jobs says, to buying something. So that's like what I want to do, is get like physical items in people's pockets.
That's great. Well, Zach, welcome to the team. I'm super excited to collab with you and to kick ass and really get our ecosystem going, because the ecosystem is where it's at, right? Like, we can create the best technology, we can do the best marketing, we can get the creators on board, but unless you've got an ecosystem where there are buyers and companies consuming and using the protocol, it's all in vain. So you're in the hot seat, man. I'm in the hot seat, but you're also there, right there with me. So yeah, I'm very confident we can work together and
we'll be best friends in 6 months from now.
Yes. So that's great. So all right, I will catch you. I'll catch you at one of our meetings. But let's get back to our presentation here. So there we go. Thanks, Zach. See ya. All right. Let's continue then. Our next one. Next item on the agenda is phase 1 readiness. So as to refresh your memory here, there are 3 phases to this, and we are now in phase 1, and I'm so excited. We are getting close to the end of phase 1, and we can start phase 2 soon. But let's look at what we've done here. So today I've introduced a new indicator on here. So we had pink for we just started, and we have red for like it's new. I put an orange indicator to show that like we are really close to it becoming a red. So you're seeing more and more greens here. So we've got a lot of greens, especially in the DAO column and the testnet column. We are getting technology ready here. Most of the work that we are doing at this point is around marketing and essentially presenting the application, the applications about the protocol in order to execute on this booster cell. So the pace is picking up, and in fact, I would imagine that by next Friday, you're going to see mostly all of these. I think there might be still the Nexus stuff remaining, but most of this should be green by next week, so we can execute on schedule that way. So super excited about that. But that's your phase 1 readiness. We are going right according to plan. Everything that we've laid out here is happening according to plan. All right. Next, I want to kind of showcase a little bit of the Sao Paulo exhibition. So what I wanted to do here is I put a video here to show for presenting here. I don't intend to play. It's a 5-minute video, but it's on YouTube. That's the link for it. I hope you'll take 5 minutes and go watch it, because it's really a good way to see how in the future we intend to do metaverse exhibitions and things like that. So here's a metaverse exhibition of some of the art packs, artworks, etc. And then further, this presentation, by the way, is in Portuguese. So, but the slides are in English. So you can see at least how we are kind of approaching getting creators excited about Vitruvio. So this is sort of our first public presentation about Vitruvio, And congrats to Fur on doing that and getting that out there. So please do take a look at it and see how we intend to start presenting Vitruvio to creators. So that's that. And let's move on to the next slide here. All right, now let's get on to some of the more heavy stuff, the more analytic stuff. So I want to start off with talking a little bit about liquidity. Last time I promised that we would talk about this a little bit, about how it would work, etc. And I get the question all the time I see in Discord is, what price are we kind of opening at? But the important thing to realize is it's not just an arbitrary decision, right? That decision is governed by a number of constraints and a number of strategic objectives, and key among them is capital. So let's look at a what if scenario. And I want to make sure I emphasize what I'm going to show you is purely a what if scenario. There are no decisions made at this point, but I wanted to give you a tool to help you think also about how we are approaching this. All right. So here's a what if scenario that takes into account all the tokenomics that's there. So let me walk you through this, right? So I've put here a price of $1 simply because it makes the math a little easier to deal with. If you want to find this calculator, it's on the rebasing and the booster calculator, but it's on a separate tab. You can find it there. So what I've done here is model out 1 month. All right. So 4 weeks in a month, and the vesting schedule essentially is by month, and however, the tokens that are there are rebasing, and rebase tokens are available and free, right? So what we are doing here is modeling out for 25 million tokens. What is the scenario happening? So this is an aggregate. It's actually a little more than 25 million because we've also have, in addition to the Nexus tokens, we've got perks tokens. There might be some grants and things like that also. But these numbers are calculated based upon projections of each of those. So we know how many tokens are going to go to OGs, how many are going to go to validators, how many perks there are, and all of that. So these calculations are based upon that. So our projection is that in week 1, the rebase token counts will be approximately 250,000. Same in week 2, week 3, maybe it'll be a little bit more than that because obviously it's compound interest. It's going to be a little bit more, but for the purpose of our calculations here, that's a good number to go with. Then we hit week 4, and now we have the vesting that occurs. So there's going to be the base vesting of 0.25% for a large number of the holders, and then there's going to be some booster vesting that's added on to that. So we extrapolated some of the data and said that basically there's going to be a 750,000 tokens that are going to be available then. So you couple that with the 250 rebase ones, and you get 1 million. So what we have is the VTRU tokens at the end of the first month, there's going to be 1.75 million of them. Now let's look at liquidity. Now liquidity is really hard to calculate because there's so many factors that go into it, right? I mean, there could be external liquidity providers. There is the market conditions and all of that kind of stuff. But I've modeled for you 3 columns here, and each of those columns says basically how much of the token holdings that someone has that they will sell. So in the first column, we assume 100%. It's highly unlikely that everyone will do that, but just so you can see that, and so this is where having it as $1 there is useful. You can see the math happen directly there. So that's, the dollar amounts are basically the total multiplied by the price there. And so that would require an astonishingly large 1.75 million in liquidity for the first month alone. Drop that in half, and you can see that the numbers start becoming manageable. Drop that even further to 25%. So you say that only 25% of people will sell their holdings. Or another way to put it is that of all the holdings, 25% will be sold. And it could vary. Like some people could sell their whole thing, whatever is vested. Some people would sell only a portion, etc. And so then you come up with this number of 437,500. Now, we haven't finished the detailed modeling on VTRU, the DEX token yet, but at least for the sake of kind of estimating, I wanted to throw some numbers out there. These are not final. The whole thing here is a what if, and that's why I put a giant red banner here. Anyone who takes this as gospel is wrong. You don't. This is simply a tool to start understanding what the liquidity modeling looks like. So we set aside some model for VTRU liquidity also, and then finally we have to take into account that if there isn't a team working on all these things, right? We got to do the marketing, we got to do the creator onboarding, we got to maintain the blockchain, we got to service, we got to ensure that the servers are working, etc. And we got to keep building these dApps and get them to market. So we estimate that that'll be around, give or take, it'll be flexible, but around 250K per month. And so based upon that, you have a cash flow requirement here. You can see that's pretty high. So this here, 2.25 for the first month alone, if you were to provide 1.75 in liquidity, which is huge. And this is also not insignificant. So our goal here is to do right, is to get so many partners, so many dApps, so many creators, and so much activity happening here that by the time we start getting to exchanges, which, by the way, our first kickoff meeting internally for exchange listing discussion, which is already on the way, but starting to formalize it so that when we hit the RC2 window and we have to get the exchange listing done, we will be in good shape for that. But anyway, those discussions are underway. And what we need to do is make sure that we've planned out the capital correctly for those situations. These are all interconnected moving parts. So we got to have the booster sale. We got to get enough liquidity in. We got to get an exchange listing at a fair price. We got to figure out what the costs are going to be for the exchange fees, for some minimal market making that we want to do. And also liquidity, what exactly we're going to need to do there. So all of those factors play in here. So it's not as easy as saying that, oh, let's do $3 and it's done like that. It can't work that way. There's so much planning that has to go into it. But I'll tell you this, what we want to do is not try and create something that is just sort of, a quick hit. We're not looking to do that. We are trying to create something that grows in sustainable value over time. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how the team has been told we are going to look at it. So we are not looking for a quick hit. We are looking to really build something that grows and holds value over years. And so our approach is going to be entirely around that. But I had committed to presenting this model to you. It'll probably be refined significantly, but these are high level numbers. At least they can help you think around, what it takes. By the way, that market cap number is important there. I see people throwing wild numbers out in Discord about the price, but you need to take a moment and multiply that price by 60 million and understand the market cap and see where VTRU might fit in among existing. If you just want to say, crypto companies, that's fine. Like, where do we fit in? And if when people throw out wild numbers like $500, etc., you can see the math doesn't work out. Because you would be, well above Bitcoin or something like that, and that doesn't make much sense. So we have to be rational. We have to look at the market rationally and figure out where the market is going to place us. And we want to grow. We want to move up, and get to, top 10 over time, hopefully within the course of a year. So that's kind of where we are setting the stage for all of this to happen. All right, so that's the discussion around liquidity. Next, I want to talk to you a little bit about Nexus, the NFT. There's, I understand that many people here are new to NFTs, and so what I want to do is kind of help you understand that. So the first thing you need to understand is that, when you use the term token, it could refer to two different things. One is a cryptocurrency created by a smart contract, and that's a fungible token. and then a type of token created by another type of smart contract that's non-fungible, meaning each one is unique and different. That's an NFT, non-fungible token. So the Nexus NFT is a non-fungible token. Each of you who are a holder or a validator are going to get one of these. And these tokens hold the key to how you manage your token allocations. In this blockchain, there is not going to be a day like, after mainnet, where all of a sudden you look in your wallet, like MetaMask or whatever, and you find all the tokens that you are owed. That won't happen. The reason? They are vested. So it is not possible to have vested tokens that are already in a wallet, in an account, because it's not possible to lock it. That would be possible if VTRU were a token conforming to, for example, ERC20 spec. But VTRU is the native cryptocurrency, and therefore, the moment it is sent to a wallet, it is not possible to lock it. So that's why in this scenario, what we have is an NFT, the Nexus NFT. So let's look at how that NFT would work. So, and I'm going to build this each week. I want to take a portion, focus on that, and then the next week give you more information about it. But let's focus on the vesting part and your tokens part. So think of your NFT as sort of just like a bucket, if you will, a box that has different compartments in it. So there is a Genesis compartment, and that has the tokens you're owed. So this is the same thing that you will find in the Genesis a table that's there right now. You have a certain number of tokens due to you. That's what's in your NFT. There might be some extras there. Maybe once you boost, you're going to get some extra tokens in there. That's what that field is for. You are eligible for perks. So at the start, we know exactly how many tokens each OG has, right? We know the total number. So if you divide how many you have divided by the total number, you come up with a percentage. That percentage goes into the perks field, but expressed not as a decimal number, but expressed in a unit called basis points. So the financial world uses basis points because it's much easier to communicate. So 10,000 basis points is basically 100%. So the conversion is quite easy to do. So the perks tell you, and your perks number is fixed. It's fixed based upon Genesis. You have a certain number of OG tokens, and therefore you're eligible for a certain number of perks. Now, this is different for validators. So this is the Nexus NFT. It's not the validator NFT, which will have a similar concept, but not exactly like this. There is a rev share component. So based upon the number of boosters and the type of boosters you buy, you're going to be eligible for revenue sharing. And this field here will put the number of units of rev share that you're eligible for. And next, you see 18 boxes. Those correspond to the first 18 months. And for each month, there's a basis point there indicating how much vesting your tokens will go through. So the start vesting is 25, 30, 30, 30, 30 for the first 5 months, and then 8.19%, which comes out to 819 basis points. So that's what your NFT is. And let's say that for the sake of our example, it's in wallet ABCD. That's your wallet. That's where you're going to get dropped this Nexus NFT. Now we have the booster sale. So here's the thing. You can buy a booster with any wallet you want. Don't care. It can be anything. No constraints at all. So the booster is another NFT, and it has essentially 10 basis points. It's worth 10 basis points, and it's worth 100 tokens for $150. Obviously, if you have a super booster, it's different. It's got a field in there that tells it if the booster has been used or not. So if a booster has been used, that field will say boosted yes. If it's not, it'll say no. So now here's the thing. You can match any booster in any wallet. I use the term match. Sorry, I take that back. You can use any booster in any wallet to boost any Nexus NFT in any wallet. So, if you are feeling charitable and want to go boost your friend's Nexus NFT, go right ahead. No constraints at all. So you can do that. So the important thing is that only the owner of the booster can do the boost, right? So what happens when you boost? Well, the booster converts into its artwork. You now have an art NFT that's there, and the boosting value has been transferred over to the Nexus. So now you can see there that there are, in the extra field, there's 100 tokens, and the rev share has 1. And note also the vesting has changed. So let me back up here and show you it's 25, 30, 30, 30, 819. And because you hit one booster, now the vesting schedule on this has changed. In particular, look at the last one here. It's less because now you're vesting faster. So the more boosters you add, the higher these go, the higher your extra tokens go, and the higher rebase income you have, the higher rev share you have, etc. So all of that is contingent upon you having more boosters. So that's basically how it works, folks. It's not super complicated. There's a lot of flexibility. Now I understand that a number of folks want to combine their existing sort of Nexus NFTs, etc., before this happens. I don't have a concrete answer for you today on that, but we do intend to give you that functionality. So probably by next week, I'll have an announcement on that. But we do want to support the ability for you to combine your Nexus NFTs. But as far as the booster goes, it's really as simple as you've got booster NFTs in some account. You choose which account you want to boost. Bam, you hit it, and it will enumerate, the rules. For example, if a Nexus NFT has been boosted 25 times and you try and boost it again, it won't work because that's the limit of it. So, but it will transfer the tokens over. So, and we'll make sure in the UI we tell you that you're about to use a booster where the rev share will be accrued, the extra tokens will be accrued, but the vesting won't increase. So you're gonna have that capability. We are currently working on how to essentially have a booster applied into an account that does not have a Nexus NFT, because we envision that that's going to be a requirement. If you are buying a booster and are not part of the community right now, you have a booster, you have tokens, what do you want to do with that? So more than likely, what we will do is have a similar type of NFT to Nexus, where when you try and boost an account that doesn't have that NFT, it's automatically airdropped into it first, and then the booster is applied to it. So that's an implementation detail we'll work out. It's not that complicated for us to do. But later on in the Q&A section, I know this is something that is new to folks and might be confusing, and I'll be happy to answer more questions and make sure that I clearly convey how this is supposed to work. All right, let's move on to the next section. I include the booster sales section every week because I want to make sure that if there are people who are watching this for the first time, that they are also aware of our booster sales. So booster sales are coming up on MainNet RC1, which is slated for the week of the 22nd of October. So someday within that week, we will activate release candidate 1, and on it you will have the ability to purchase boosters. There's two types of boosters. We have a standard booster at $150, which works out to be a token price of $1.50, and we have a super booster, which is a token price that ranges from $1.45 to $1. Each booster features an amazing random artwork. You won't know which one you're going to get. We're going to get one of the 21, and it will be AR enabled. And as I just demonstrated, once you use the booster to accelerate vesting to boost, you'll still own a rare Genesis artwork, which can be collected, traded, or sold. The boosters are also eligible for asset registry licensing revenue. So whatever the revenue gets in terms of licensing fees, the booster holders get 30% off that. The cost is $150 per boosters. You can buy any number of boosters, but only 25 can be stacked to accelerate vesting on a single Nexus NFT. And beyond that, they're good for the artwork, and they're good for the token claim, and also good for the rev share. If you want, you can buy a booster and hold it, and trade it on the VTRU Hub when it's available. You can sell it, etc. It's because it's good for 18 months. Similar to boosters, we have super boosters, which are targeting more individuals who are interested in acquiring tokens and not so much interested in investing, although it is available also. These are higher priced items, but they have higher token values and significantly greater token boosts. So that's it for super boosters, and would love for any of you who know angel investors or institutional investors who would be interested in super boosters to let me know. All right, and now come to the last part of the talk today, which is booster incentives. So I want to start off with the incentive we talked about last week, which is a Vitruvio Genesis sneaker. Now, just to be clear, sneaker means a pair of sneakers. So you're going to get a unique, rare Vitruvio Genesis sneaker with unique artwork. This is a one-time thing that we want to give as a benefit to our boosters. So super boosters, for every $25,000 you spend, you get a free pair. The first 250 boosters also get free sneakers. There's a limit of 3 per wallet. So if you buy 10 boosters, with one wallet, you're only still going to get 3 sneakers. But if you don't make it to the first 250, that's fine. You can get it at a really good price. It's $120 for each booster. And we are currently saying it's a limit 1 per booster, but that limit might change based on production and things like that. All right, so that's the benefit we have here. Had a good conversation with Chris, who suggested that we should probably incentivize folks to bring their friends over, etc., and buy boosters. And so I'm pleased to announce here a referral link program. So what you can do is use this referral link to earn free tokens for each booster and super booster that you referred, and you and the person you referred both get a bonus. So the bonus is 5%. So an aggregate, there's 10% tokens that are there for using the referral link. Now, the link is for new people in the ecosystem. So the bonus tokens will not work if the referee wallet is a current holder or validator. So it's got to be new. We're going to release the booster website soon, and we will enable a referral link creation section there where you can go create your unique link that you can use in order to share with other people. So I'm really excited about this because it gives everyone in the community the ability to work together and help us meet some of our goals. You saw how the liquidity goals are going to be very challenging, and we want to make them. So myself, the team, we're doing everything we can in terms of execution on the technology, execution on the marketing, the ecosystem, the creators, etc. But this is one area where we need your help. And with the referral link, we make it possible for you to get some benefit from it. That's not the last of the incentives here. We have one more. And this was one where I'd really like the community to collaborate together and come together and have shared success. So what we are doing here is, well, I already went through this here, so I'm going to skip that. What we are doing here is having goal bonus tokens. So what we have done is look at the aggregate amount raised in here, and as we reach a sales target, everyone who has a booster gets bonus tokens. So when we hit a $2 million goal, everyone gets, all the boosters get 5% bonus tokens. When we hit the $3 million goal, you get an additional 5%, in aggregate 10% of bonus tokens. 4 million, another 5% on there, you get 15%. And if we can somehow hit 5 million, that would be amazing. And all the booster holders get 20% of bonus tokens. So I think this here really indicates to the community here that we want to do this together. There is a shared reward system here for everyone to benefit when the whole community, when we do a good raise and we can solidify our runway for the future. All right, so that's what I had with, and thanks Chris for pushing me on that affiliate thing. It was really helpful. So that brings us to the Q&A section, and so before I do the Q&A, I always like to ask the panelists to come on here and to share some of their insights. So please do come on here and give some reactions to what you heard today.
That was awesome, Nick. And yeah, I have some reactions. I was taking notes. I was doing my very best to make Kryptonian proud of me. So yeah, I had a few things I'd like to say that I took away from it. I like that we're going to have specific domain specific metadata. So that's very cool and very integral and necessary. And that goes with the custom flexible licenses. That's pretty cool. So like you were saying, so a creator can say this NFT or this artwork is going to be one of one, and that's going to make it rare. And you have it, nobody else can have it, right? Or they can also say, well, I'm going to have a one of one, and I'm going to have a similar one or a different one, and it's one of 10,000 or 1,000, and they're totally able to do whatever they want with the license. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. I like that that we're focusing on what's making this project interesting and useful for people. To like you're trying to bring the human side together with the digital side, kind of like humans into the Tron universe, but not make it so dramatic, right? Yeah. And I love Tron. I love the original and the second movie. I also liked. I always like hearing when you're talking, because you make a point of telling all of us fellow investors that you're wide open. You show it through your actions. You don't just say it, but you show it. And I think that's great, because you're definitely open to new ideas. And the different councils have been formed. And I watch, I listen, like many of us, and I'm like, this is really cool. And for me, that makes me even more interested in the success of our project, because you're not just saying it, you're doing it. So the actions speak louder than words. I told my kids that the whole time they were growing up, and that's something that's important to me, is actions are louder than words, and you do them all. I'll pare this down because I have more notes than you want to listen to, but I like that the project for I like the projects for MainNet launch update that you did on that one slide. That's cool. I think a lot of folks were able to just go, now I can, I mean, you've brought it up before, but I like it because I can sink my teeth into the bone on that one. It's really cool. So seeing the progress is awesome. Congrats to Fur and her presentation in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, definitely.
That is so cool. I wish I spoke Portuguese and could have been there. That would be beyond cool. And the last thing I'm going to say is the referral link that you brought up for that program is awesome. I think a lot of folks will jump in on that and find that. I mean, we like to get some easy money, refer friends and so forth, hopefully angel investors. And the gold bonus tokens that you just showed a minute ago, that looks freaking awesome. So shared reward incentives for a lot of folks. I think a lot of folks are going to jump on it. So that's my nutshell and takeaway.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Well, Odie, you pretty much took it all from us. I'm not sure if I have a whole lot more to add, other than the fact that it was pretty cool to see Zach and to meet Zach. I like that. I like his whole part. That was cool. I do enjoy that when we get to get eyes on team members and stuff like that. That's just, to me, it's one of those things that being in the crypto world and everything, and only seeing one individual, and it's just reassuring to see individuals, their faces, be able to talk with them and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. And you guys pretty much summed it all up. There's not much left for me to comment on here. It is always good to meet the team members and see the guys that are behind the veil and just, doing the back end stuff. And it's always good to put a face to the name, see who's actually putting in the work. And I said it earlier, Nick, that it truly shines that you care. It truly shines that you're putting yourself into this thing. just the amount of effort that it takes every week, and just the way this thing is checking off boxes left and right, and we're just marching forward to MainNet. It just shines. And again, man, you took something that was basically dead, lying on the ground, gasping for air, holding on to that last breath of life, and you did that, man. You breathed life right back into this thing, and here we are, and it's actually pretty amazing to see, and very optimistic of where we're going. So
yeah, and with that referral link and how you have it up here, that was
awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys came up with that. I
enjoy that part because I felt like there's some people in the community, even some that may be critical and stuff like that, if they felt like they wanted to get other people involved and everything like that, and have been out there, get something in return. I don't think I'll refer people to get a link, but I personally don't think I'll be using the link because I don't think that being a YouTuber would be an unfair advantage or whatever. But
so what, Chris, why don't we do this, man? Why don't we throw a link out there, and everything that we get off of that link we'll donate to charity or something? Or
that would
maybe
be
we can have
idea.
Some giveaways or something like that.
Yeah.
So we won't personally keep them. Maybe we do something good, or we have some giveaways or charity or something like that.
Yeah, I would like that, and that's what I think. Sometimes with the referral link and stuff like that, when it comes to projects, maybe there should be a cap too or whatever. But I like the way that the conversation we had and what you presented. I think it's great stuff. Yeah. I think it's great stuff. And I think that people are out there that have been working hard through all this stuff and the Discords and then social medias and stuff. Maybe this is a way that they can get a little bit of a perk.
Yeah, no doubt. And all those people in the community, like the Mammoth and guys that have the merch stores, when you send your merch out, put a little card in there that has your referral link on there, man. You might as well get something while you're doing it and bring people to our community. And we're trying to reach out and bring more people in here. That way we're not just in this bubble of the same people over and over again. That's what it's going to take to grow this thing.
Well, to get people to come check it out and see if they make an informed decision if they want to be a part of it. But the more people eyes on, the better chance you got and everything. So
110%, brother.
I agree.
Sorry I had such a long takeaway, guys. You know how I had to drop off early last week? I was making up for it. I had a list this long. That was great,
brother.
Don't apologize. I was just giving you our time. You're great, Cody. That's awesome. You
just
brought up a lot of
chops,
things,
brother.
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, I wanted to mention, because I think I forgot also, Nick, I like that you shared that you were KYC'd very recently. I think that speaks volumes for building more trust, which you were talking about, throughout the live earlier. I think that's great. Finding out that, hey, you know what, the guy who's, steering the ship, steering us all towards this goal where we hopefully all can make some profits soon. I think that's great. I think it'll help with the future investors to know, who you are and that, you can be trusted, and the future folks that are going to be on board, the future creators. That's what I'm trying to say, and anybody else who wants to invest or who wants to create something on the blockchain, whatever their project is. Looking at the top, I mean, you look at Microsoft, you look at Apple, you look at all these other, corporate entities, and you go, well, who's in charge of this? What do they do? What's their track record? Yeah. So anyway, that I feel real strongly about. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it. And I think myself and the team are acutely aware of where this project has come from and why we need to focus on transparency and building trust. And as I said, it's a circle of trust. It's not just about the protocol, but in this community also, I'm trying to create a circle of trust, not through words, but through actions. Say you're going to do something, and then either do it or explain why you couldn't do it and give a rational explanation, and then take the other course. So, this is tech. There's a lot of times you intend to do something, but the technology doesn't support it, or you hit bugs or whatever. It happens. But the important thing is to communicate that, and not to try and BS your way through it. So that's what you get, like the straight dope. So, all right, let me get to the community team gathered some questions and curated them. I'll do those first, and then we'll get to the ones that you have here. All right, will the validator team be doxxed? Well, it gives me great pleasure in reporting to you that the validator team is now formed and autonomous, and they do everything that they need to about themselves. So they are self-governing, So I think it would be good to ask Baron about what the intent is for the team. So yeah. Can I copyright an artwork with Vitruvio? If so, can someone guide me on how to do it? So there is something called I believe the correct term, I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me, is common law copyright. So that just basically means, when you put something on there and you have the language around it that you claim copyright. So that's not the same as actually registering a trademark or copywriting a word mark or something like that. So we are not an official government body. We cannot copyright anything. But when you put something on in the asset registry, you can have language in there that says you are the copyright holder, and you can grant license to other people based upon Creative Commons licenses. So fear not. Once we have VTRU Studio working, we will have workshops that will guide you through onboarding artworks, etc. So this is not something we're just going to throw the software out there and hope people will figure it out. There's going to be videos, there's going to be notes, there's going to be workshops, everything. Is there a way to measure the effectiveness of Vitruvio's marketing efforts? Of course. I mean, with any kind of marketing thing, you have analytics that you can always look at, and Riva does that. She looks at the response rates, etc., of individual things. But if you look at the macro picture, the big picture here, use the term macro incorrectly. The big picture, yeah. Then the measure of our marketing effort success is really one thing, right? Are we able to effectively take this blockchain to the next level? Which means, did we complete our booster sales successfully? Did we launch MainNet? Did we have enough partners on there? Are creators coming on board and listing their assets? Are collectors coming and buying? So that is what we are trying to get done with our marketing effort, but not all together, one step at a time. So the first step here is, right now it's already in play, is start building a little bit of recognition among the creator community about what Vitruvio is, and we are doing that. And there's already, if you look on Twitter, etc., there's already a sense of excitement going on, because creators have been hurting for a while, and someone needs to champion their cause, and here we are. And before anyone thinks that, oh, we are there just to support creators and all that, I'll tell you one very important thing that may not be obvious. Throughout history, artists, etc., have looked for donations, effectively donations from foundations, etc., to support them. Why? Well, that's because no one created a model, a financial model, an economic model where the incentives aligned. The incentives of the people with money and the incentives of the creators were aligned. Vitruvio is that alignment of interest. We make it possible for someone who has no knowledge of art, is not an artist, not a creator, anything, to financially benefit from creators. This is the core reason why I feel Vitruvio will be very successful, because for the first time in history, it's not been done anywhere. For economic incentives and creator incentives are aligned. And so as we see more creators make money, and as we see more investors make money, it's going to be a flywheel. And next week, I'm going to show you my flywheel diagram to show how creators, investors create a virtuous flywheel. And the faster it goes, the more the blockchain benefits. So yeah. How can we address the growing discontent among creators, as evidenced by the recent writer and actor strike? How could the team tap into this group and demonstrate how Vitruvio can empower them to have more control over their creative products? This is a great question. It's very timely, etc. But let's be pragmatic about this, right? One of the things we could do right now is overpromise to creators and greatly underdeliver. In a bear market right now, we'll definitely underdeliver. So it's highly risky to get all creators super excited about this. That's why our message out there is more toned down, and it's not about you'll make a lot of money. It's more about here is why you should trust us. Here's how there's a pathway to success, because we cannot change the market. The market is a beast unto itself, right? And so what we want to do is make sure that everything is in place. So as the market grows, and we reach the bull at some point here, we are ready to strike. We are like all poised, just ready to go, and that's what we are going for. So in terms of the strike, it's for writers, and that's actually slated for a little later on the protocol. We don't want to just attack everything at once, because then we'll fail at everything. So we are starting with visual artists first, because they already have a foothold in Web3, and then go on to music, then film, and then writers. So it'll be a little bit of time before we get there. All right, so that's the questions I had there. Let's take some questions from the folks online here.
All right. All right. So the first question that we got is, let me pull it up instead of just reading it. When we'll get the specs requirement for the nodes? Thanks.
All right. So that's a question for the validator team. And you'll be seeing their Discord channel, etc., come up here. It may already be there, but you would ask them that question. So essentially, from a protocol standpoint, we have handed it off to the validator team, so they can be autonomous. They can figure these things out on how they want onboarding to happen, what the requirements are, etc.
Nice. Next question is from Michael Douglas. Says, "Hi Nick, I am also a poet as well as an architect and validator. I have done close to 700 poems, have not published yet. I would love to look into VTRU Studio gateway to issue."
Yeah. So as I just mentioned, the order is visual arts, then music, then film, and then poems and essays, etc., books. So that doesn't mean that you have to wait that long. All I'm saying is that our focus from a marketing standpoint and outreach standpoint is going to be in that order. But we certainly welcome folks who already have content and want to get it there, because the model is the same. You register an asset, you consign an asset rather, you provide a license capability, and then you go to VTRU Hub and you have a page where you can sell it. So we won't be able to devote a lot of resources to marketing, poems, etc., initially, but we'll get there sooner rather than later, and would love to have Michael's work, on VTRU Hub at that point.
Great. Next question is from Mr. Mark. Nick, why VTRU booster sale before onboarding artists, developing the apps and blockchain?
I'm a bit confused by this question. Well, we don't have capital. We need capital to have operations, to have a team, and to pay them, and to build stuff, etc. So we can't develop apps. Now the blockchain is already done, so that part is not a factor anymore. We are on the verge of mainnet here, but in terms of developing applications, if you go price the market for high quality Solidity developers or high quality Web3 developers, they are expensive. They are not cheap, and they are in high demand. So it costs money, and so we need that capital to do that. And we cannot onboard artists unless we have the apps like VTRU Studio and VTRU Hub that they can use.
Michael, I just saw this comment come up. He said, "Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate it."
It's great.
Let's see here. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. Here we go. Dad bod veteran. Veterans are always awesome. How do we sell the idea of VTRU to artists who are not currently into crypto in any way? I've struggled so far.
Yeah, I think the conversation shouldn't be about crypto. The conversation should be about the ability for artists to go past the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers in the world of visual arts right now are galleries. If you want to sell directly, what do? Well, you might find a restaurant nearby who will hang up your artwork, and maybe you can get a sale or two. or you might go to the farmers market on the weekend and try and sell there, or you might go to a craft fair, etc. None of those are scalable venues, scalable opportunities for you as an artist, right? So the easiest thing we can tell artists is that, look, we've created a model for you that is scalable. You consign your artwork and you're done. The platform has all the tools and the incentives necessary for other people to promote and sell your work. So you can go back to creating your artwork. So in other words, if you want the ability to have a sustainable income through your art, there is no other avenue that is better than Vitruvio for that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Thought I missed it. I thought I took one off. Chad's Hammer question is how long until trading is live and we can see funds in our sacrifice wallets?
So that's two questions. Yeah, so trading will be live when we have enough liquidity capital available and we've completed the listing on a centralized exchange. So that we estimate is after, I believe, release candidate 2. And I don't know what he means by we can see funds in our sacrifice wallets. I'm not sure what that means. So I will wait for clarification on that.
All right. Next question he's got, Aurora Bitcoin. What is the minimum launch price we can expect and accept for VTRU? And I know that Aurora has brought this question up a few times. And I don't know where you're at on that. Are you getting to like a more realistic idea of something like that, or still?
It's math, right? I did the projections now for what tokens are going to be available. We have to make a guess of how many, how much of that people will want to hold, how much people will want to sell, and then it comes down to how much capital we have. So sitting here today, I have no idea because it's all math. This is not conjecture, all right? It's math. So I provided a worksheet that is helpful for you to also kind of project that out yourself. Plug in some numbers there and see what happens. I mean, I know exactly what the rebase tokens are. I know exactly what the vested tokens are going to be at the end of month 1. Now you can do some what ifs and figure it out.
Oh, I just saw something. Roy Bitcoin looks like let me go find it. I saw. Oh, what did I do?
At the very end.
Yeah.
Is it the very last one? Yeah.
Yeah, he just put this in. He said, "Can we accept? I guess is that $1.50, like a minimum or less?"
I don't know what that term "accept" means. I mean, I understand the meaning of the word, but in this context, I don't know what that means.
I don't get that quite either.
Is he saying that the blockchain? Are you saying like is the blockchain? Will the blockchain function for the launch?
He said launch.
Launch.
He put another one in. Yeah, he just put another comment.
Like the price can be anything. The price has nothing to do with how the protocol operates. That's just the token price we go at. Like, look, our goal is to continue to build value, right? The token will appreciate in value if we demonstrate that we are delivering value. So a lot of people are fixated on the start price because they want to get, they want to get their money back. I get that. I totally get that. But you're not going to get your money back unless we make it attractive for a new set of investors to look at the current value of what we're delivering and buy in, right? So if we are not providing liquidity in totality, others have to. And the only way they're going to do that is if they see value. I mean, this is typical in subsequent rounds of any kind of business. The new investors essentially buy out, if you will, the existing investors. That's what people are looking for. I get that completely. So this is not going to happen organically. And, there has to be all these things in place. We have to demonstrate success. We have to show partnerships. We have to show creators. We have to show things are happening here. So we are doing all those things. If people believe that by some magical thing, we just list the token and it goes up, it doesn't happen that way unless you're manipulating the system. That's happening.
Yeah,
We are not
yeah, I
doing
think
that ever.
somebody did that one time, and they tried to call it a certain name, but
We are not manipulating the system. We are doing this by delivering value.
Mhm.
So that's how it's going to come.
Yeah, those are things I like to hear. I don't like to hear the old sayings. Omni Man. I think that's great. That name is very awesome. Um, I enjoy that.
Everything, man. Yeah.
Is the I'm thinking of Omni. Is the booster art per wallet that holds the boosters? Since a wallet can have multiple boosters.
Yeah. So the wallet art is per booster. So it's an NFT. So an NFT means you have a token in your wallet. You can have one booster. You can have 100 boosters. You can have 1,000 boosters. So you will have 1,000 artworks that way. They're all individual NFTs that at some point you will be able to sell. These boosters not only give you boosts but are a valuable artwork unto itself, and there's only going to be a limited number of them. So at some point you'll be able to sell them because these are the Genesis ones.
Awesome. I think there's a couple of follow-ups on that coming up, Nick. Hi, VJ. How's it going? What is the team's marketing plan for booster sales, please?
Yep. So what I'll do is I'll have Riva come on here next week and we'll talk about that because that would be more appropriate at that time. But we've got a marketing plan underway. We've got the website, etc. So instead of just giving you an off-the-cuff answer, we'll present a plan.
Awesome. It'll be great to see Riva. Let's see the next one. Omni Man is back for more. Those booster arts look awesome. If I bought 25 boosters using one wallet, do I get 25 different booster arts?
Yeah, so these are NFT artworks that are editions. So they have a serial number. And there are 21 artworks. So you're gonna get, depending on when you buy your booster, any of these 21 artworks, but a serial number. And typically with NFTs, the lower the serial number, the more valuable it is. So people crave serial number one, or close to that. So if you bought 25 boosters, you're going to get some combination of 21 artworks. That some might be duplicated, and there's 100% chance that you'll have 4 duplicates minimum, but they'll have different serial numbers.
All right. Next one, Rich. What's going on, Rich? Hi, Nick. The possible investment opportunity you are doing in San Fran, are you currently looking into other cities like New York City, Philadelphia? And he has a follow-up on that too.
Yeah, just to clarify, what we are doing is working with arts organizations to onboard artists at scale. Web2 artists, traditional artists who are not yet into Web3, we are bringing them. The investment for boosters is a global thing. It's not related to any one single city. So any city is fair game. Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess that answers his second part of his question too. Let's see. I hold VTRU coins in 2 wallets. Is it possible to make an internal transfer to have the coins on both in just one single wallet?
Yeah, as I committed to earlier today, that is a feature we will provide. You will have the ability to merge your Nexus tokens if you choose to do that. So we'll go ahead and issue them, but you can merge them later.
Just so that you guys know in the community, I'm going to skip around on the questions because there's 2 of them that are going to be together. So if you say, hey, skip my question, I'll be back to it. Don't worry. C-Titch says, Nick, can you elaborate on the gasless transaction? How does someone qualify and how does it affect node holders?
It's basically 2 contracts, asset base and creator base. So what we want to do is make it super simple for people to register their asset, especially if they only have a credit card, and one of the impediments to onboarding creators is having gas. And if we can make the asset base and creator base be completely gasless by having them we precompile contracts, we remove the friction. We're going to get paid, but in a different way. We're going to get paid a token amount when they register an asset, a really small amount, like maybe $1 or $2, but it's on the sale. When the artwork is really sold, that's when the price could be quite high, right? Like, I mean, if you look on Ethereum, etc., generally artworks sell. Your average artwork might be like, $100, $150 or something like that. But then there are artworks that sell for thousands and thousands of dollars also. So that's a variable amount. And the validators, they get paid a percentage of that. Booster holders get paid a percentage of that. So rev share is built into the protocol at this point. So how does it affect node holders? The whole point is that even after raising our gas to 4 Gwei, it's still not going to be a materially large income stream for validators, which is why we have rev share going on. So it is going to have an impact, but the impact is negligible because there is a finite number of artworks. Like, there's going to be millions of them eventually, right? But the gas cost of each one is nominal, and to divide that over years or whatever is even smaller chunks. So I don't think it has a material impact on validators.
All right, and then we have these. This is two different people, so I'm gonna bring them up together. Bob, great to see you, Bob. Any progress on the 122 BTC wallets? And then Christian Chamberlain, excellent to see you, buddy. Off topic here. Sorry, but it's not, Christian. We put it in so it would be there. Is there a form we use to make sure our BTC is calculated into the Vitruvio calculations? I sacrificed 5,700 for BTC.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't have the answer on that, but I will make it a high priority to get that answer and post it ASAP on there. I know the team has made progress on that. I just didn't get an update on that, and that's my mistake. Before this download, I will commit to doing that, and you will see something probably over the weekend on there.
We all appreciate that, Nick. Thank you, because I'm one of those wallets too. I got about $4,000 in there. I did, however, was it last week or this week? I did send in I created a trouble ticket. And for Christian and others that are also having this question, that you sacrifice BTC as well, I was told that the team is working on it, and they got back to me very quick that same day and said that they're working on a solution for that. So for what that's worth, I just want you guys out there to know that, I'm one of the
I will escalate. I will escalate it because it's been lingering for too long, and I just want to get it done. The reason is there's just not a very elegant solution for it, but doesn't matter. Even if you have to manually do it for each person on a Zoom call or something, I'll say it's 122 or so. Let's just get it done and make it happen. Yeah.
Much appreciated. But on that same subject, I didn't do it, but I know there was also an ETH sacrifice. Is that also
that's covered?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I saw some more questions, so I thought that this was going to be the last question statement, but I saw a couple other ones I'm going to bring up real quick, but I want to bring this one up. Shadow X and his crazy picture profiles, man, freak me out every time I see him. But anyway, Nick, love the plan. Can you unban all and give them access to legacy combos chat at least? Many are investors also. This is a first step to getting the trust and 16 votes to vote yes.
I understand that, but the behavior I'm seeing contradicts that. We've unbanned people. What we see is we ban someone, they come on back with an alt account, and they do the same toxic behavior again. Look, I need this whole protocol, this whole community to be successful. There are people with agendas. We can see them. We can see them essentially planning together and making a concerted sort of effort to just write all kinds of nonsense. I mean, at this point, after all the information that's been shared, after all the weekly progress reports, after the evidence, etc., if people can't get past their bullshit, sorry, they can be investors. They can look at their wallet. We will drop all the tokens in there that are due to them. But this is not the government. There is no freedom of expression. Um, every single time it has been abused. And so I politely decline that for right now. My focus is on getting through this booster sale and getting creators onboarded and making this protocol successful. And in the process, if there are some people who are banned because of their past bad behavior, then they'll have to stay banned until a future time when we'll be humming along properly and be like, okay, the risk is low now. We'll let people in. So yes, we will unban it, but not until we are a going concern. We have to focus on the success of the many and the needs of the few, as Mr. Spock. I made a mess of that quote, but yeah. So sorry, and uh, be realistic. Like look at the evidence in front of you, and make some smart decisions. People are making bad decisions. They are coming on and constantly just it's humming that same old tune. Come on, it's old. Like, if the level of information, the level of results, the people, the activity, etc., uh, has not moved the needle for you, then there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry, and you're never going to be happy here. And yeah, you're not welcome. Sorry.
Well, Nick, I just one of those things when I go a lot of good friends, we have those issues. I'm just one that I just don't like anybody to be banned ever. It just bothers me. It just drives me crazy. And I know I know I know your point of view and everything like that. But my thing was with my Discord and like my YouTube. I don't want anybody banned. Maybe put them in they only have access to one area or whatever. But you do what you want to do, and I can completely understand your point. But just me, I'm one of those guys that I just don't want anyone banned ever. And some people come even into my Discord and we're like, "You're an old fart, we don't like you." And I'm like, "All right, but I'm still not going to ban you." So, but
I understand that. Look, my stance is one of frustration more than anything else. I look at it and go why can't you people think rationally? Like, these are irrational arguments people make. And I'm like, there is nothing I can do to appease you. There is no amount of results. There is no amount of work. There is no amount of activity, of evidence, whatever, that will make you happy. So why do you want to even be in this Discord? If all you want to do is complain nonstop, why do you want to be there? So I will consider it. But look, so far, every single time, I told the Discord team, okay, let's keep the time out people for a short amount of time, etc. It doesn't work. People just come back, and I don't want to have a toxic environment. I need this blockchain to succeed.
Well, and I agree with you, and I agree with you on that. And like I said, I'm one of those ones. I just don't like anybody banned for anything. And I do think that people have to do a little bit of give and take. And I think you put a lot of information out there. A lot of people can do their own research and stuff like that. But one thing I don't want us all to forget, even on the big supporters and everything like that, everybody needs to understand there are a whole lot of people out there that really, really, really got burned. And they are really, really upset. And honestly, it's like, they're just like, hey, I'll believe it when I see it. And even the stuff that you put out, there might be a chink in their armor and everything like that. Maybe they come around, maybe they don't. And we can't ever make them happy. And I understand that.
So then, Chris, isn't a hiatus the best thing?
Right.
You don't.
Yeah, I can see your point on that.
I have no credibility with you. I never will have any credibility with you. So then, don't waste your time on me. Just consider me a complete idiot and say, "Don't waste your time."
And by banning them, I could see the point where a lot of people are like, if I ban them, then they don't have to deal with it anymore. You're helping their mental stress and everything like that. But my issue is that I think a lot of the people that come in and the things that they say and everything, maybe they should word it a little bit differently and everything like that. But they are there because they care and they're so burned and everything like that. But that you do what you think is best.
Yeah, but at that point, Chris, go tell your wife, tell your friend, tell your priest. Don't come and complain to the same people that are in the same boat as you, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to bring artists and new people into the community.
I think
so
people
I get
forget
it.
that.
I've lost more than probably 50 people in this thing.
Yeah, you have.
Grab 50 people, and I'm probably down more than 50 people, but you don't see me in there hemming and hawing, because guess what, guys? What's the alternative? This thing was on its last legs before Nick breathed life back into it. So, sit back.
A pretty good life. I like the.
Yeah,
I
get the frustration. Yeah, I get the frustration. But let Nick sit back and do his thing. If he doesn't do what he says he's going to do, then you have every right to sit back and complain. But give the man some space to do what he said he's going to do, because he's done everything up to this point that he said he's going to do. Right. And I feel like he's going to continue on that path. So please allow the man a little bit of space. And I get everybody's frustration, maybe do it somewhere else, DM somebody and complain. But we're trying to bring artists to the space.
They'll all come to me and complain.
Investors. Come to us on the back end and complain, guys.
Come
and
complain
we'll talk it out. Right.
I've got over $6 grand in this. Or I got over 6 figures in this thing. Not even close to what NR had. You guys don't see me bitching and whining and moaning and groaning all over the Discord.
It doesn't help.
In the way, it doesn't help. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody.
And if you need help changing your mindset, get my book.
Yeah.
Well, I think the important thing is the part that I want to send out there is that my thing is, there are people out there that they don't necessarily agree with me. There are so many people out there that disagree with me, but I don't want to invalidate their opinion. If you don't like me or you don't like the project or something like that, your opinion's valid. Okay. If I can do anything to fix that and everything like that, great. If I can't, I understand that. And I think that's where Nick's at. Nick's like, look,
disagreement is good. It sparks conversation. It sparks really good conversation, and some positive things can come out of disagreement. It's how you go about it, and if you don't keep an open mind.
I agree.
You got, if I may, someone that's been banned multiple times, right? We were talking about that a few minutes ago. Right. My 2 cents on that is, I agree with banning people that continually keep coming back and keep stirring the pot. And we've asked them, please don't do it. Have a more
definition of insanity,
constructive, right? Be constructive, be polite. We're not saying let's walk down the street holding hands, singing Kumbaya. Right. We're just saying be respectful of others. And there's some folks that no matter how many times we say it, goes right over their head.
I've seen some of the, as a good friend of mine says, seen some of the grenades, and I've been like, whoa, where's
and it's not necessary. Every one of us up here, we've invested in this project. We lost money just like all of you out there. We've all been burned. But we're not trying to burn this thing to the ground. We're not trying to be crazy.
Do something positive. And put your energy towards something positive. Do something that's going to help your investment. Just sitting there complaining isn't helping your investment. It's not helping the team move
It's
forward.
actually more than complaining, guys. It's they say that I will fail, and they make it a self-fulfilling prophecy by creating the environment to cause people to be turned away. They make that real. I'm not going to enable that. I want this whole community to be successful, and every unnecessary person there that is essentially messing things up and preventing me and the team from focusing on getting results. I'm sorry, but right now they have to stay on the sidelines. Watch. Come to these shows, watch.
Let me address something real quick, because I'm getting a little tired of Chad's hammer over here, running his bumping his gums over here. Bob asks plenty of questions and Nick won't answer them. So first of all, that's false, because Nick and Bob have had meetings even behind closed doors, backstage, and Bob's been able to ask his questions. He's had plenty of time with Nick one-on-one. He's had hours. He's asked Nick the questions. Nick's given him answers. So I don't know where this is coming from. You're just over there bumping your gums.
This is a good example of a person who
You're
is
uninformed,
unable to frame their thought. Why?
Right.
What is it necessary to stay at the end? Stop hiding, Nick. Obviously, that's an inflammatory remark, right? This is exactly what people do. I don't need this crap from anybody. I have a lot of work to do. I don't need this.
Feel free to come on, turn your camera on, Chad. Jump on here with us and air it out. Other than that, man, go away. Be a man, turn your camera on, talk to the man. Don't just sit there and spew nasty stuff.
Now,
come on, air your grievance or go away.
This
it's ridiculous at this point.
This is an interesting comment, and this is where I kind of get in, because I never liked this at all, and as things turned out, it was very troublesome. But you know, the banning is what enabled BL to steal, you know, and it's what has enabled Nick collecting almost 4 million and no blockchain. The last part, I don't agree with that, but the banning part was something that was used by people in the community along with the community leaders to basically shut down. Now, we're talking about respectful dialogue and everything like that, but to shut down anybody that would say anything that would be remotely, you know, bad against them. And my thing is that's why I prefer no banning. Even if it is something that's critical, it's either you don't have anything to complain about anymore because we're transparent, or we're never going to make it. There's people in the community that just cannot stand me, and I am never going to be able to change that for them. I can accept that, and I know that it's a bigger issue for you, Nick. So that's the issue. Yeah. But I mean, whatever you decide, I'll support. I'd like you to keep an open mind about it, but man, I don't walk in your shoes, so I can't say that. And you have a whole lot more issues because you got a whole lot of people out there that felt devastated. So you're in a totally different position than me, and I respect you for it.
Think about you know, athletes, etc. When people are heckling them from the stands, etc. It affects your ability to perform. I need to be focused on this. I don't want to deal with people who are distracting me from the mission.
Right.
So
exactly.
You know, being in the Discord is not a requirement. It is absolutely not. You can get your updates about the project if you're an investor in N different ways. We have social media, we have these videos, etc. Being in Discord is not at all a requirement. So I'm sorry, but for right now, people who are banned for a reason. They are going to stay banned, but I'm happy to lift those bans once we've hit certain milestones and are past the risk of this project. You know, we need to make sure that we can get investors, we can get creators, and we can get good momentum. When that happens, I'll go ahead and lift those bans.
Fair enough.
Did you guys type? Because my chat shows me typing something. I didn't type something.
I think I typed that in and hit all. I forgot to change.
Okay.
I changed it earlier, but I got kicked. I got kicked out and came back.
What are you new? Come on, NR.
I changed it earlier, but I got kicked out, and that's the default. So yeah. And guys, all I'm asking is you guys give Nick some room, guys. That's it. Just give him some room to work instead of being on his case 24/7 with the negativity and the Nick's gonna fail and all that kind of stuff. And even now, I feel like we're spending too much time on this negativity.
I agree.
You know, so
I agree.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
And I think that, and one more comment for this, I'm just going to go over this real quick because I do want to move on. But you know, Chad, listen, you know, we've all talked about this and everything like that. But I think you forget the whole thing that everything that Nick was being paid when the blockchain was going and everything, he was paid from the team. I mean, I don't understand how this even becomes an issue. Yeah, maybe it was more than what could be or whatever, but we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. But if we didn't have all the funds that were taken, and everything was done the way that people said they were going to do something and they didn't do it, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So what I'm trying to say is I think your anger and your frustration is more focused on the previous regime as opposed to this. If you want to be a part of this, if you want to be a part of this and you want to help this grow and everything like that, we invite your criticism, but at the same time, we just keep rehashing old stuff. So I know that you probably aren't going to agree with me on this, and you're probably going to get mad at me now. But what I'm saying is that we can't change the past. We can't do any of that stuff. what they were doing is what they were doing. We don't know the behind the scenes part of it and everything like that. Well, I don't think we'll ever know. I don't know what we're going to do about the old regime, but I do know what's in front of me right now is something that I think is going to be good. If it comes to market, works well, it's going to be good for people. It's going to be good for artists. It's going to be good for investors. It's going to be good. If it ends up being something that we all get a return on our investment, then all these conversations are moot points later on. We're all going to be like, okay, if it's not something, at least we tried and we put something out there that could be good. That's it. Yeah. That's my spiel on it. I don't really want to talk about it anymore, but I appreciate your comments, Chad.
Way to bring
I
it
like
on,
how
brother.
you said that, Chris, because I get in there in the Discord and there's still some people that harp on,
and
well,
they will
promise this, we promise that. It's
I'll
like,
get death threats. I'll have death threats.
We should make.
Sure.
We should want
Chad.
the Discord. We should want the Discord to be a home where people come and they feel secure, they feel safe, they feel it's a positive environment. That's what we want. We want it to be a positive environment where we're growing this project. You know, we're bringing new artists in, and hey, man, look at what we're doing. Look how we're changing this space. That's what it needs to be. It needs to be somewhere where people can come and feel the positivity and what we're trying to do. Because what Nick's building here is going to change the space for the artistic community, for the music community, for visual artists. I mean, he's doing something really special here that hasn't been done, building an entire ecosystem to help monetize these people who've had a rough go, honestly, trying to make money in their craft.
Right.
Yeah, I have a news report for everybody. Voldemort and Malfoy are gone. They left the building. Right. They're gone.
No. They left the building in a golf cart, right? and they rolled down the hill.
we have Albus here, folks. Okay, Albus
and they rolled down the hill. Yeah.
So
I'll
go.
just say this: we have a DAO, we have a community. We are making decisions collaboratively. It's not me or the team versus the community. The community is one. It's us together. So if you find that a decision that has been made or some idea that's being proposed is terrible, suggest a better one. Don't just say that that's a terrible idea. You suck. No. Well, what's your alternative? How can it be refined? How can it be improved? Let's have that conversation, because I can tell you 100% of the things I put out there are open for debate and for improvement. Like make rational decisions. Let's do that collaboratively.
And you know what? And just another thing out there, guys, just so that you know, I got a lot of mods in my channel. Don't time anybody out or anything. Try not to. And don't ban anybody, please, because even if we don't agree with them, I want to hear from them. I want to see what their point of views are and everything like that. And if it is something respectful and something that we can work on, great. Because I would hate to get drowned out and they have a super, super great idea. So,
because a lot of moving forward comes from that oppositional viewpoint.
Yeah,
it sparks good conversation when it's done the right way.
But when and I understand what Nick's talking about. So you come in there and you're like, you're an old man with a gray beard, and I don't even like you. Okay,
I still love you, brother.
I don't listen to them, but they might have something important. So I kind of don't want them to be gone. But at the same time, I don't have to walk in Nick's shoes, man. But if you want to be a part of the solution, do what you can to help, and let's just see how things go. Give it some time and help out where you can. And, if you don't like something, okay, let's talk about it. Maybe it'll fix it for everybody. If not, then just keep it to yourself for a little bit, see how things go.
Communication's key in any and every relationship.
Yeah, just try to see, because there's a lot of people that are very disgruntled about everything. And I think that they're disgruntled about the past. Hopefully now it'll be different. So,
sure.
But when it comes to Chris Cruzy, I grab a big shovel and I dig it.
There you go.
You're fair to everybody on all sides, man. And I think a lot of folks appreciate.
He's good people, man.
I try to be, because I think, like I said, it goes back to there are people on both sides that have very good arguments, and I find that if you bring people from both sides, they come together, and all of a sudden you create something pretty awesome. Because
pretty special, if
they can just listen to each other. That's what I'm hoping. But Nick, what is the daily revenue you think we could reach an asset registry in 2 years? That's
so we did some of that modeling in order to come up with the validator sort of rev share, etc. But I'm not happy with that model yet. We need to do some more. But to give you some context, OpenSea, one of the marketplaces on Ethereum, did approximately at its peak $1.5 billion in sales in 1 year. So it's not about the asset registry. We've changed the model now to focus on rev share from sales. So the protocol extracts 2% of sales and then divides that up among the DAO, validators, and boosters. So that's the model. So I hope it took OpenSea 5 years to get to 1.5 billion, but that was creating a new market. I hope that with the infrastructure we have put in place, that we can get to those numbers much sooner, maybe in 3 years or something like that. We can. And remember, that's only one marketplace. There are many more. So Blur, for example, came out of nowhere and in less than a year overtook, almost not overtook. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but they have a very high volume. So it's a volume game. And remember that the more efficient and easy it is for creators to list their assets, the more creators will list their assets, and every asset that's there and is sold makes us money. So we want to hit those numbers in the $1 billion plus range within 3 years.
Nice. Eris, it's always great to see you. Such a joy. Questions. What creator would get after we get this booster purchase?
So this is really not targeting creators right now. This is essentially getting capital, right? So operating capital. As part of that operating capital, we do have a grants budget. So later on, we will issue grants. Hopefully, our token is very liquid at that point, and the grants are more in tokens than in capital, because the capital is precious, and we want to use it for operations. But so this booster purchase enables us to move forward and therefore help creators succeed.
We've got 2 more questions and a statement. That's it, Nick. We've been here for a while, so I'm going to start wrapping it up. For photographers, how would Vitruveo Studio compare to companies like Getty Images for selling photos?
Yeah, that's a great question and a great comparison. So there are stock photo sites, and they all have different kinds of tiers, if you will. Some are like admit anybody. Some curate your work and check and qualify you before you get in. So you can think of Vitruvio as the open, decentralized version of Getty Images for all types of media, with flexible licensing that is driven by the creator and without having sort of being told what your fees are and all that. You pretty much set your own price and you decide what your audience is, etc. So think of Vitruvio as the Web3 version of Getty, but beyond images and with open and flexible licensing models.
Awesome. Next one is Nick. What are the total available boosters, regular and super boosters?
Yeah, it's not a number of boosters or super boosters. It's by the number of tokens that it's capped. So we have an allocation in the treasury of 7.5 million tokens for this program. And today I just announced bonuses and things like that, right? So we'll just keep going at it until we hit our token cap. That's basically what we are trying to do, and not constrain, because we need to make sure that we have enough runway to be able to execute on everything until the point we are stable. And so the more money we can raise, the better it is for the longevity of the project. And also we can provide more liquidity that way.
And the final statement is from my buddy, pretty much everybody's buddy, Shadow X. Says, Nick, please make us all rich. We all deserve it after what we've been through.
That's an understatement.
Hey,
So,
breaking even will make me happier than anything.
you know what? If
Anything
this
beyond
point,
that is just extra.
yeah,
I can promise you one thing. I will make you rich in culture first. And in
There you
terms
go.
of capital,
Cool.
if we achieve all our goals the way we've outlined them, I don't see any reason why we cannot have the latter also. The, you know, we,
One
agree.
begets the other, and one will beget the other's
Yeah.
result.
yeah, like think about every protocol that's out there. What do they talk about? They talk about the technology. They talk about how fast things are, what code they use, what library, and how many transactions per second. We are not talking about that. We are also downplaying like rebasing at this point. Why? Because we are focused on actually building an ecosystem that works. So this is a business centric approach to building a protocol that no one's done before. No one has done it before, and we are the first to do it. And I hear it from my team. I hear it from people I pitch this to. They're like, this is refreshing, and it is intended to be that way because the approach that has been tried does not work. It's only worked for Ethereum. That's it. It doesn't work for anybody else. So we can't keep trying the same thing.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up here, but I want to say that I think that one of the important things that we all need to just take a step back, and what I try to do, and this is just advice, you can tell me I'm crazy, but the problem that we have in crypto, and you can pretty much say this in all parts of your life, when people say that they're going to do something and they don't do it, that's how I judge the character of people. If you say that you're going to do it, you do it. And as long as Nick he's telling us what he's going to do, I mean, if he's doing it, keep supporting. Same thing with everybody there. If they say they're going to do it, do it. We wouldn't be in this situation if previous people did what they said they were going to do. That's why we invested. That's why that Nick was working on the project. That's why that we did YouTube channels. That's why you're in the comments, all these things. Do what you say you're going to do and judge people by their actions, not, necessarily their words. Okay. So other than that, I don't have anything else. I think it's a good time to wrap it up. This is a long day on a Friday, especially when I got to hang out with my kids soon here.
Oh, right on. That's always good. I'm on vacation in Phoenix, going to do a big ninja competition tomorrow. I have to beat Bobby. So wish me luck. He's in the next room on a video call.
No, I can't let that slide. You're on vacation. He says he's on vacation to compete in a Ninja Warrior competition. That's not vacation.
Right.
That's work for guys our age.
It's work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Can I
That's
ask
how I
you
relax.
to give Gus my phone number so he can message me? I would like to coordinate a meeting.
I didn't hear what you said. You want Gus to what?
Yeah,
Gus.
can you give him my phone number?
Yeah, sure. Gus, send me. I think I got your stuff, or send me a message. I'll get out to you soon. So,
And in the almost words of AC/DC, Mr. Nick, for those about to Vitruvio, we salute you.
I like that.
Awesome. You guys got anything else? I'm gonna end it right here.
All right,
Everybody
thanks.
enjoy your
Bye-bye.
Have a
weekend.
good day, everyone.
Take care.